All right. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy King Red Diamonds here. Welcome to King Red Diamond Gaming. Um, this is a new channel for me. Just made it recently. I'm here to basically play video games and have fun with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy my content for as long as I do this. Um, I appreciate any and all support that may come my way. So for anybody who happens to fall upon this video, I hope you enjoy it. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like what you see. um, I will try to get back to any comments that will be placed in the comment section. Just I enjoy feedback, so if you dislike it, tell me why. If you liked it, tell me why. So right now we're playing Nioh 2. Like I said, I will be playing a lot of other games. If anybody has any suggestions for games that they may want to see played, by all means let me know. I have a link to my Twitter and my profile, so if you want to like say, hey, I follow your page, or I'll send your page on YouTube, and I was thinking maybe you could play this game, or shoot, leave it in the comment section and I'll get to it and try to respond as fast as I can. But yeah, we're playing Nioh 2 today. I'm going to do some beginner tips, basically some stuff that I feel like I wish I knew and wish I did when starting out. um, I'm pretty far along in the game now. I think I logged about 375 plus hours. It's probably not as much as other people, but I think 375 hours is a pretty long time. Um, but yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So my first tip for anyone who is new to the series, anyone who is recently picking up the game, probably seeing it discounted, or I know soon the complete edition is coming out for PC. So if you plan on grabbing that soon, these tips are for you. If anybody watching this video is already a vet in the game, maybe you can just see this and watch this and see how you like my tips. But first tip I would do is do the tutorial. I know it sounds kind of like what do you mean do the tutorial? Doesn't everybody? No, everybody actually doesn't. A lot of people, when they play games, they don't like to do the tutorial. They like to hop right in and just experience what the game is about. Just see what it's about first before even thinking about tutorial. They hop straight in, go straight through levels and stuff like that, see how it works and everything. My advice really is to do the tutorial. The reason why I say this is because, just even though the tutorial is not the most in-depth guide you'll ever see, it gives you certain things and tips on how to basically get through the game easier. So do the tutorial. In the beginning, when you first get the game, you'll go through the character creation stage, the character creation thing, and they'll make you do that. And then next, what they do is they drop you in, make you choose a weapon, and then they show you a tutorial. They give you certain commands and stuff to input to teach you how to play the game. Do it. Reason why is because when I first got this game and I tried to hop straight in, I got brutalized. It was horrible. I did terrible. I got destroyed. It wasn't great. I realized that I didn't even know what stance switching was really. I was in mid stance the entire time. I didn't know what was going on. It was just bad. Like I really got my ass whooped. So what I did is I went back, did the tutorial, learned the basics of the game basically. So after that, I just went straight through the game and I loved it. Like, this is a very fun game. For anybody who's a fan of action RPGs, or like just open world games where they're, I wouldn't say open world games, but like just like third person player games where you're running through stages and defeating enemies and stuff like that. This is a very fun game. It's by Team Ninja. Team Ninja is actually one of my favorite companies, because their series Ninja Gaiden is my favorite gaming series of all time. Of all time. Of all time. So, yeah, do the tutorial. Do the tutorial. Go through it. Go through it as many times as you need to get it down. Just make sure that you do that, because it'll help you in the long run. I promise you it'll help. And it'll also help you get more advanced with your technique when you get later in the game. Okay, tip number 2 I have is hit the dojo, which is exactly where I am at right now. This is the dojo. This is basically the place you come to hone your skills and train. It might seem weird to come to the dojo, like maybe you're taking the game a little bit too serious, but if you really want to have fun with this game, I advise you to hit this dojo, come in here, practice, do whatever you need to do with whatever weapon you want to choose, because you can actually fight a multitude of different enemies in here. Right here it says you can fight a ninja. Here it says you can fight a skeleton warrior. I think over here it's like a yoki. Yeah, you fight a yoki. Over there it's another warrior. Like you can fight different types of enemies here. So it gives you different basically views on what kind of people you'll be facing in the game. So, it's no shame in coming here to practice. Shit, I come here to practice sometime. I'm like level 566 or something. Yeah, I come here and I do stuff all the time. I come here and practice and just try my best to, like put combos together and work on my game. Just because once you get later in this game, content gets harder. Like the enemies get stronger. Sometimes you can't just spam the same moves over and over again unless you have like the build for that. But other than that, if you don't have the build for it, you're going to lose because you're not using your entire repertoire of skills and abilities. So come to the dojo, practice, do what you can do to make sure that you have as much fun as possible on this game, to make sure that you're getting as much out of it as you should be. So yeah, hit the dojo, come here, practice, do whatever. Side note, I'm looking sweet, my fit is like that, I know you like it. All right, next. Third tip, don't rush. Don't rush. The reason why I say don't rush is because you want to have fun. You want to enjoy it. When you go through the first game, I think it's Way of the Samurai. When you go through that first difficulty, that's pretty much a tutorial. Even from the first boss to the very last boss of Way of the Samurai is a tutorial. It's just a way to teach you how to play the game. Because the real game starts in New Game Plus, where you go to Way of the Strong. So that's when the game really starts, because that's when it gets into your build crafting and higher tier equipment, stronger enemies and stuff like that. So don't rush the game. Go through the game, take your time through levels, make sure that you're learning the levels and learning the environment, because you're going to go through that again, but it's going to be a more difficult setting. Like I said, the higher difficulty goes, the stronger enemies get and the better equipment you get, but you can't get that equipment if you don't survive. So take your time, go through the story. If you miss anything, you're gonna have the opportunity to go back and do it, but I would say just take your time instead. That way you can get the full scope of the game, because I feel as though if you rush through the game, you're gonna get through the game and you're gonna beat it the last stage and be like, oh, this game was too short, I didn't like it. No, this game is not short in the slightest. This game came out over almost a year ago, and I'm still playing, and I'm not even close to being max level. I still got a ways to go to be max level. It's still many more builds I could put together. So have fun with the game. Like, take your time. Don't rush through it. Make sure that you're doing like everything. Do all the missions. Do all the side missions. Like, try to get all the equipment you can get, because you're gonna have so much to work with and so much range to work with that you'll take enough time to play the game and have fun with it. Like I told you, I had 375 hours. That's a lot of time. Honestly, this might be the one game that I put that much effort into. Other games I probably put maybe a couple hundred hours, but this game I'm probably gonna when I finish, but when I get to where I want to be, it'll probably be around 500 plus hours on the game by itself. So don't rush it. Make sure you go through the story. Make sure you just enjoy the gameplay first, and then once you get into the later difficulties, then you can start to try to demolish everything, because by that time you'll be able to have god level builds like this build right here, my purifying monk build, which is what I like to call it. She is a monster. You can start to make builds like this. So don't rush it. Make sure you take your time. Make sure you go through the story at a nice even pace. All right. Tip number 4. Now this is something that I really wish I didn't take for granted as much as I did on my first playthrough. It is the book of Reyarn, Book of Reincarnation, and materials. Um, Book of Reincarnation is a very it might like some people it might not seem as important. I think it's very important. The book of what the Book of Reincarnation is. I think I actually have one. Let me see if I can go to it. Yep, here we go. I have one left. As you can read, it says, when used, you will reacquire all Amrita used up until that point. However, it will reset your level. This item cannot be used during a mission. This text describes blah blah blah, all that other bullshit you don't need to worry about. But everything else at the top is fine. Basically, what it is saying is you can't use it in mission. So when you're in like your loadout screen or like your map, your world map and stuff, you can use a Book of Reincarnation to pretty much reset all your stats. So meaning that you can respec your character to whatever stats you want to respec them to. Excuse me. You can respec your character whatever stats you want to respec them to. You basically get a start over. You get to redo everything that you did. So say you start out the game and you pick, say, the sword, right? The katana. Katana scales with heart, which is this stat right here. So say you scale, you get the katana and you put your stats in the heart, but you put them in the other places, and then now you're like, man, I wish I'd have changed that. I wish I did that. That's what the Book of Reincarnation is for. The Book of Reincarnation allows you to do over your stats if you think you messed up. The reason why I'm telling you that I feel like it's a very important thing is because when I first played the game, I used Book of Reincarnations like they were fucking Tic Tacs. Like I literally popped them things so often because I wanted to change up this, I wanted to do this, I wanted to use this weapon, I wanted to go. It was just, honestly, it was dumb. It was a dumb move because you can acquire Books of Reincarnation like many ways through the game. The most common ways are either through the blacksmith shop or through the hidden tea house, where you can use a currency which is called glory in order to buy. In both of those places, the more items you buy, the more expensive they become in the future, and they cap out at a certain amount. But when you're early in game, you don't have enough like money to just spend on those because they get very expensive. I think right now, the Book of Reincarnation for me is like 700k gold or something like that. I think it maxes out at 1 million, but like since I use certain things to lower the discount, I'll go over those probably in later videos. But yeah, right now it's like 700k per book. Early on in the game, you probably won't even finish the main story with 700k gold. So make sure you don't just run through those all willy-nilly. Like don't go through those just like they are anything. Make sure you save those because they'll come in handy later on when you start getting into different builds and like min-maxing and stuff like that. So Book of Reincarnation for sure is a very important thing. Try to as much as you can to save those. The next thing I said is materials. Materials, the reason why I said these are important is because they're not scarce, but they don't come when you need them all the time. This game is very, very RNG heavy. So sometimes you might need a certain material, but you'll run out of it. Like, make sure you're not using materials just like it's nothing. Make sure that you have exactly what you need, as much as you need. Grind out. Don't just use it and then be like, oh man, I need this, but I don't have enough money to get it, so now I got to go do all this. No, like make sure you're saving stuff. Manage your equipment, as best you can. When you get later in game, you'll have enough money and stuff. It won't really matter to you. You'll have enough money to do whatever and spend on whatever. I think I probably have like over 100 million gold or something like that. Like, yeah, like you'll end up having enough later on in the game. But when you're early game, you're not. Early games, a lot of money is scarce, materials is scarce, everything's pretty much teaching you how to manage the game when you get later. So make sure you don't use your Book of Reincarnations just willy-nilly. Don't use all your materials up until you know for sure that this is what you want to do. Okay? Tip number 5, glory. Now, glory is a currency other than gold in this game. Glory can be used to buy those materials in which I was talking about. It can also be used to buy like you know, Book of Reincarnations. Glory is a very, very, very scarce currency. So I think the only ways you can get glory is if you, one, farm revenant graves, or two, do online co-op missions. Now, neither one of these are great farming tools. Reason why some people might tell you online co-op missions are the easiest way to farm glory. That's not necessarily true. The reason why I say it's not necessarily true is because there have been plenty of times when I've been online and played co-op with certain people, and the main person who was hosting the lobby died. And when that happens, everyone who was in that lobby gets kicked out of that lobby. Meaning that all the glory that you could have gotten for completing the mission is a fraction of what you could. So say you'll get 5,000 glory if you complete the mission with the lobby open and everything. If the main person who's hosting the lobby dies, you might end up with like 250 glory, which is not nearly as much as 5,000. So you got to be, aware of, how you're going to farm your glory. And like I said, you go and do revenant grades, but sometimes revenant grades only give you about 100 to 200, maybe even 300 glory. But that's also a very dangerous thing, because revenant graves are pretty much like other players. They're not player controlled, but they're pretty powerful. Like the gear on them are pretty strong. I know a few revenant graves I've tried to farm have 1 to 2 shot at me. Literally, like I'm beating them down, putting in the work on them. They get off 2 hits on me and I'm dead. And now I have to come back and try to fight them again. And you're going to use up, maybe you might use up some of your magical items or your ninjutsu items. Like, it can be kind of frustrating at sometimes, but yeah, glory by far is some of the most, coveted currency in this game. So when you do come into glory, try your best not to use it all at once. Like I said, everything, this game is about managing your equipment, your items, everything. Like, this game, it can be very unforgiving, or it can be very rewarding, depending on how well you play it. So make sure when you do come across this glory currency I'm talking about, which I'll probably explain more in depth in later videos, depending on how well this video does or my other videos. But I'll explain that later. But yeah, make sure when you do come across this currency that you're trying to save it. So make sure, yeah, you save your glory as much as you can. Stack it up as high as you can, because at some point you're going to need that glory. You're going to need that to, buy materials, maybe to construct a build that you might have been looking forward to. Okay? And my 6th and final tip for any beginners who want to play this game: have fun. Straight up, have fun with it. It's a video game. We're all gamers here. You came in because you wanted to check out, some tips. Maybe you, like I said, maybe you're just about to get the game. You're thinking about getting it. Maybe you got it for Christmas and you're not even sure really what you should do. Have fun. It's a video game. That's what it's there for. Have fun. Do as much as you can inside of this game to get the most out of it. Don't worry about beating it. Don't worry about, having the super strong, overpowered builds that can do 100,000 damage in one hit. Don't worry about that. Worry about that later on when you're actually accustomed to the game. What you want to do first is have fun, because if you don't have fun with the game, you're not going to get far enough into the game to even construct those builds. You're going to say, oh, this game was boring, it was too fast, blah blah. No, take your time, have fun with it. Do as much as you can inside the game to enjoy it. That's what I like to do. Whenever I play a game, I like to have fun in that game. I don't try to rush through it. I try to take my time, and I try to make sure that, I'm doing what I can to get the most out of it. That's why I'm still playing this game. That's why I'm still playing it and have as much as progress as I've done, because I had fun. I'm still having fun. This is a great game. The final DLC has come out, and pretty much the game is, I wouldn't say it's over with, but they're done basically doing what they do for the game. There's still going to be updates for it, but the game's basically like completely out now, and I'm still having time of my life with this game. It's so fun. Constructing builds is by far the most fun I've had. making different characters, all this stuff. Like, it's fun. Oh, and you know what? I just thought of another one. I'll give you guys a bonus tip. Do not make two separate characters. Do not make two separate characters. I made that mistake and it was brutal. The reason why I'm saying that is because, like I said, on this character, I have over 375 hours. I have 375 hours on this character. I made another character because I felt like, you know what, I want another character because I just want to see if I can do something different. Maybe I can get better rolls on equipment, or maybe I can, get this piece of equipment better on this character. You're gonna set yourself back by hours and hours and hours of gameplay. You'll set yourself back. So you might as well just stick to the main character and tough it out. The reason why is because you'll be able to switch weapons. You'll be able to switch like different abilities and stuff. You'll be able to, go throughout the entire game. You're not stuck with one weapon or one ability or one guardian spirit. You're not stuck with it. You can literally earn every single guardian spirit, every ability on the one character. It's just all about grinding and RNG. That's it. But yeah, those are my beginner tips. I hope whoever found this video, it helped you out. I hope you liked it. Like I said before, like, comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope you guys, when you found this video, it helped you out as much as it could. If you want to see more, stick around. I'll be making more. Like I said, I'll be playing more games. I play Nioh, I play Call of Duty, I play Destiny, I play 2K, I play all those games. So if there's a game that you might want to see me play, by all means, leave me a comment in the comment down in the comment section, and I'll get to it, and maybe we can make it happen. So yeah, like I said, have a good one. Thank you guys for stopping by, and King Red Diamond's out.